You see, what I'm about to show you is pure madness. Please don't let your children watch this and do not try this at home. Okay, I'm just kidding. This is only suitable for blitz, rapid, and bullet, especially if you just want to kill your opponent very quickly in the Sicilian defense. So you start with pawn to e4 and your opponent plays c5. You don't like this, and so you just want to finish off your opponent very quickly. Say this is a blitz match, 5 minutes blitz match. How about you try this dubious move, as it is called, the Du Bois opening, if I'm not mistaken. With bishop b5, you're just preventing black from playing pawn to d6, and should they play knight c6, you just intend to take. It doesn't even matter which pawn they take back with. They mostly take back with the d pawn, after which you now set up your Grand Prix attack successfully as highlighted on the board, not forgetting to play knight c3 and bishop e3 before you cast a shot. But see, after you play bishop b5, most of your opponents won't like you for this. They will play pawn to s6. As you can see, that's the top played move, after which I advise to go bishop. Now what do we see in the Lichess database? Again, pawn to b5 is the top played move. This is what most people are going to do, because in the Sicilian, everyone wants to play pawn to b5 given a chance. Now it is in this position where you can either play a decent move, bishop d5, with the same idea of capturing on c6 and forming your Grand Prix attack, or you completely go berserk with the move bishop takes f7. Why would you do such a thing? I thought I was the only crazy person, only to discover that even 2600s and 2500s do play these things on Lichess. For what? Anyway, this works, you guys. There's actually a legal way you can play this line by not taking on f7 right away. If you want to save the day, just go bishop d5. It comes with tempo. Point is, if knight c6 comes, you're going to take on c6, but only after developing your queen to f3. Obviously, they will play pawn to e6, avoiding checkmate in one. After which you can simply take, and after pawn takes, you now go pawn to d3 and continue playing a normal game. Knight f6. I love queen f4. It's very tricky as it stops the move bishop d6. If they play bishop d6 anyways, you just do that. Black is not losing, but they are under pressure anyway. See, this could be another way of playing the Grand Prix attack. After putting your queen on g3, play pawn to f4, knight f3, castle short, knight c3, and not forgetting to play bishop e3. Anyway, so once again, instead of sacrificing your bishop, you can just go bishop d5 if you want to stay relevant in society. The correct move that black has to play here is rook a7 to maintain their advantage. And guess what? In this position, it is even possible to sacrifice on f7 now. Like for real, not what I showed you at first. Watch. Before I show you the d3 line, you can sacrifice on f7. This is equal, as you can tell from the eval bar. It has been played. After king takes, now you go queen h5 check. After g6, you simply play queen e5. This is the trick and the main reason why I created this video. At least after you take on b8, your queen will not be trapped. The rook is under attack. If they try rook c7 in an effort to trap your queen, you just continue doing your thing. Here I can even play knight c3. I want to do this. If pawn to e6 is played, you can even go queen b6, by the way, and rescue your queen even on d6. Anyway, so now you know. Instead of taking on f7 immediately, start by going bishop d5. Because if rook a7, it will be okay for you to sacrifice and play queen e5. Sometimes after rook a7, just go pawn to d3. This is a sneaky move to call for pawn to e6, inviting pawn to e6, and only then do you play bishop back to b3. This is very much playable even in real OTB games. Black won't trap your bishop because you can just take now, pap, and after pawn takes, you go bishop takes. You're just up a pawn. Anyway, once again, if knight c6, just remember to go queen f3, threatening to checkmate in one, or perhaps invite some weaknesses first, like this. After pawn to g6, that's when you go queen f3. This is just a long-term weakness for black, and they are going to be forced maybe playing something like pawn to e6 again, and this is when you're supposed to take and go pawn to d3. Sometimes you can just straight away take on c6, mess up their pawn structure, and play pawn to d3. This will be the normal Grand Prix attack where you are expected to develop your pieces as highlighted on the board and put your queen on e2 later on. So it is in this position where you can either play a decent move, bishop d5, or you completely go berserk with the move bishop takes f7. Why would you do such a thing? I thought I was the only crazy person, only to discover that even 2600s and 2500s do play these things on leeches. For what? Anyway, this works, you guys. Point is, after king takes, now you go queen h5 check. Why not? Most black players respond with pawn to g6, after which you go queen d5 check. The whole idea is to win black's rook on a8, period. You're also threatening to capture the knight. Now, let's agree on one thing. This is not good for white. I know, but you see, let's stop playing like robots. Chess was meant to be fun. That's why there is blitz, rapid chess, and bullet. Come on. So you only want to play this if you want to win very quickly or embarrass your opponent. Why does Stockfish hate this so much? Because black is just 2 moves away from trapping your queen. For example, they can start with knight c6. Your queen can't move. I will show you what to do if they play queen c7 as well. So the idea here is to try and look for ways to escape from soluble black's territory. In the knight c6 line, the move you always want to remember is this: pawn to d4. You have to sacrifice your pawn back. Now see, if black continues playing the top played moves that we see in the Lichess database, you're going to equalize easily and rescue your queen. For example, if c takes d4 happens, you can simply go bishop f4. With bishop f4, you are preventing black from playing queen c7, followed by bishop b7, to trap your queen. After this, what do we see in the Lichess database? Pawn to e5, the top played move, which is a big time blunder, as this only allows you to equalize material after bishop takes e5. Yes, now you are attacking this other rook on a8. This is pure madness. And what do we see again? Most people just take back on e5, because what else? This is when you rescue your queen like this, pap, threatening to win the knight as well. So they have to play something like king f6 here, after which you go queen takes d4, and boom, just like that, you emerged with an exchange up and a clear winning plan. Of course, there are moves like queen a5, but you can just play knight d2, pawn to c3, or whatever you want. You have pawn to f4 in the near future, knight e2 or knight f3, and castle shot. Anyway, let's look at something else that black can do apart from pawn to e5. The second move most people play is bishop c5, as you can see in the Lichess database, but this is not great. Again, due to knight f3, here black can't even play pawn to e5. If they try to do something like pawn to d6, trying to lock up your queen, again you're just going to take that knight. d6 is no good. I don't know, maybe pawn to h6 or knight e7 to renew pawn to d6 and this idea. But here you can just castle short, put your king to safety. If they ever play pawn to d6, since they know you can't take, the knight is now defended. Now you can play pawn to e5 yourself. You're going to take queen c7, ed. I mean, black is just too late in this line. So in many of these lines, when you're playing against human beings, it'll be possible for you to rescue your queen. For example, in this position, you can just play anything that you want, like pawn to c3 or rook fe1. Let's just go with c3. If dc, you just take back. If bishop d7, you have queen takes, your queen is just safe. Maybe queen c7, again you have pawn to a4. If bishop d7 this time, it looks like your queen is trapped, but you always have these tactics. Again, there's nothing that black can do. They will be forced to stop protecting the bishop. E.g., if queen d7, you can just take. With check, king f6, you even have knight e4 or queen takes, whatever you want. So after taking, clearly we have seen that you just need to go d4 and bishop f4 to save your queen. But wait, after playing pawn to d4, maybe black doesn't really have to take. They can punish you with queen c7 directly, because they are just one move away from trapping your queen. Now this is when you can simply go pawn to d5. Why not? Attacking this knight. And yes, if bishop b7, it's better you walk out with 2 pieces. This is check, and then you take that knight, and after bishop takes, you go pawn to f3. To some strong players, this is holdable. Your argument is you have an extra piece for a queen and a better pawn structure. For example, if pawn to d5, you just remember to go knight h3. If pawn takes, you castle short, threatening to take back with discovery check. If this happens, you play knight d2. You want to take that pawn. They can't take. The pawn is pinned. Say king g7, knight takes. It only takes one wrong move like knight f6 for you to start getting back to the game slowly but sure. Bishop f4, say queen b7, and rook a e1 attacking this pawn. According to Stockfish, position is back to equal, as you can see, or as you can tell from the evil bar. So Stockfish thinks this game is dead equal, even though black has a queen. But trust me, not so many human beings will find this move sequence. By the way, after pawn to d4, back on move 8, instead of cd or queen c7, black can also take with a knight. This is okay according to Stockfish. Still, you can't rescue your queen easily. They can just retreat and you are going to be forced going back. Again, what you can do is going bishop f4, just preventing queen c7. But this will come with a little consequence, which is knight takes c2. And then after king d2, you're going to lose your rook as well. But at least your queen can be saved in this variation. It won't be trapped. And black needs to continue playing accurately, which is very difficult for them to do. Besides, their knight is trapped here, so you're just playing a crazy game. What if they play bishop g7, maybe trying to take... Well, now you can go knight c3, easy peasy. Pawn to b4, they still want to take on b2. You simply go knight a4 to threaten this pawn, and also just defending. Remember, the knight is still trapped. If knight e7 for some reason, they want to free up the rook, you simply get back your piece. Material is equal, by the way. It's just that your queen is not active on a8. But at human level, this is still playable as long as your opponent is not using Stockfish. Out of everything that I have showed you in this video, which opening line do I recommend to play? Well, it is this bishop d5 move. You only want to play bishop f7 if you are playing bullet chess, because that will eat your opponent's time like crazy. They will be losing on time in most cases. But bishop d5 is a mature move in this type of Sicilian. After rook f7, this is when you remember to sacrifice on f7 and play queen e5 to win the knight. That's the geometry which is there. If knight c6, just take and continue playing in the Grand Prix attack style. The key move in the Grand Prix, as always, bishop e3, you castle short. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. Don't just watch, you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe, say thank you in the comments. That encourages me the most. And most importantly, remember to subscribe if at all you haven't already, because that's what encourages me to keep on making more wonderful videos just like this one. Let me know what you think. Bye. Now, go and check out 3 of my new courses on my website, KaspaChess.com, that I highly recommend you get right now. The newly updated Semi-Slav defense against d4, the knight c6 Nimzowitsch defense, and the mighty e5 Paris defense, which is my best selling course till this date. Chess is a school on its own, and you will just need to show some efforts to unlock some secrets that content creators don't show on YouTube. And that's how you support this channel, by the way.